Hello, my name's Kathy Bissell. I'm here with Gary Van Sickle, and we're going to go over some of the items available in the merchandise tent at this year's US Open. But first, because squirrels are kind of the theme at Oakmont, I thought I would share the squirrel magnet that has a hat and guns and stuff that come off, or you can put them on depending on how your squirrel is feeling that day. And I gave this to my mother and father one year because they had so much trouble with squirrels in the backyard. They were hating the squirrels because the squirrels were eating the bird seed that they put out. And so it was a battle between the squirrel and my parents for years. Anyway, on to
Okay,
Oakland.
the hat and the gun should have been on Van Gogh there instead, but that's your mistake.
That's a different problem.
So
So
I meticulously researched these merchandise items here at the U.S. Open satellite merchandise tent, not the giant one. So I'm here at the Open, and Kathy is somewhere whereabouts unknown.
Ponte Vedra. Let's do hats first. One of the hats has a squirrel on it, kind of a giant squirrel in the middle of it.
I'm on the fence on squirrels. Depends on whether they're realistically drawn or cartoonish.
Well, the Oakmont one kind of got cartoonish, which was
Yeah, I don't like the new one.
really offensive. I'm thumbs. Oops, where are the thumbs? I'm thumbs
I'm
down on the cartoon, but I like the squirrel idea, and it was represented on several of the hats that you found at the merchandise tent.
I'd give it a cautious thumbs up, I guess.
On the hats.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Well, there's
talking
one of-
regardless of price because everything here is hideously overpriced. And you can find most of the items, by the way, at usgashop.com or .org. I forget.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, luckily you can buy from home.
Well, some people want these things, and there are some hats that were cute. There's a bright red one with a U.S.
With
Open
the-
trophy on it.
I don't think I've ever seen a U.S. Open hat with just the U.S. Open trophy. Nobody
Right.
ever does the U.S. Open trophy. It's all the claret jug. No, the Masters doesn't have a trophy they brag about. So I think that the red hat with a dark gray U.S. Open trophy, I like that one. I'd definitely pick that one up if
I like
was
that a lot.
really wealthy.
I didn't understand the green one. Maybe it just fell down. It looked kind of like a
green with a white rope.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that new rope hats, or they brought them back from the 60s when they used to be Amana hats.
Okay.
That's just a trendy style. I like the green, but kind of makes you think Masters. I'm not a rope hat guy, so I'd probably pass on that one.
Okay. I'm either way. I can go thumbs up or thumbs down
Well,
on
make a
that.
decision. Nobody cares. Just pick one, yes or no.
No. Now, what's the blue one? There's a blue one with a trophy, an X, and a squirrel. Is it like trophy time?
times a trophy times the U.S. Open trophy times the Oakmont Squirrel equals U.S. Open trophy, I guess. I like it because it was like cryptic. No one knows. No one really knows. So I like it for that reason.
Okay, then you get the winner because that one made no sense to me.
It's different.
But I kind of like the squirrel. There was one that looked like it had oak leaves on it. It brown and orange. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hideous.
Well, if you like camo stuff, if you were going
That's
hunting,
that's like brown leaves. We don't.
yeah.
Why
That's
would you
fall.
want a brown? Brown has been out of vogue for like 2.5 decades at least.
Oh,
Nobody wants
No,
that.
I think it may be back in.
You're wrong.
Let's see, and then there's the one the hat with the clovers on it.
Yeah. What did they misprint something from Erin Hills, the Women's Open from last week? I don't. Why would you have clovers at Oakmont? That was
Because you need all the luck you can get. That's
it's
why.
like a printing error, I think. So definitely not.
I kind of liked it. Now you
Well,
had
if the Women's Open wasn't just at Erin Hills, maybe I
Oh.
would have thought twice about it. But
okay.
it doesn't. It seems out of place in context.
Well, pass on the hats. There, it looked like a driver head cover. Is that right? Red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
With the
pretty okay. It's
squirrel?
okay. I mean, I think it was $48. I don't think I'd spend that for a Fairway head cover.
Is
But
that
it's
what it
all
was?
it's all right. If it
Fairway?
matches your if it matches your outfit, it would be delightful.
Yes, it would. Let's move on to t-shirts. There's an amazing number of t-shirts that you could get at this year's US Open. One of them has what looks, I thought it was a backbone at first, but then I decided it was the church
It
pews.
looks like a skeleton. It's supposed to be the church pews.
Yeah.
Who drew this? Me?
I
Awful.
don't know.
It's a great idea to put the church pews on a T-shirt, but whoever did this failed to get that done. So no, double
No.
no.
I like the idea. I don't like the execution.
Looked like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, it did. So
Of a
you can
skeleton.
get it and save it for Halloween. There's another one that has, it looks like the layout of the golf course on it. So
On the
if
back
it-
of the T-shirt, the course
Yeah.
layout. Now that was cool. That is a neat souvenir if you're a golf nut and you want a little. Here's what it's like a blueprint of Oakmont. I
yeah,
stole these blueprints from the Oakmont secret
happened-
room, and I
this
put them
happened
on a
to be
T-shirt.
blue shirt. So it was a blue shirt. So blueprint.
Yeah,
was-
I definitely, that's a winner. That's a, there's a million T-shirts in the Naked City, and that one's different, so I'd go with it.
yeah, it's interesting to see something that isn't the same as everything else.
And it
Then
didn't
there's-
have a stupid squirrel on it.
Oh, there's another one with a giant squirrel on it. It's right in your front is a squirrel holding a golf ball. I like that one.
All right.
You know what it is. You may not like it, but I do.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, as long as it's not the modern squirrel. If it's the older squirrel, I'm okay with it.
I think it's the modern squirrel. Looks like it's going to tap dance at any second.
But these T-shirts were all like $58. So I mean, I wouldn't buy any because I'm
Thrifty.
value oriented.
Thrifty, as you
Wouldn't
like to
pay
say.
that kind of money for a T-shirt.
Well, if this was the only time you were ever going to be at a U.S. Open in your life, you might. But you've been to many U.S. You've probably been to between 40 and 50 U.S. Opens. So,
No, I don't think I've hit 40. I'm in the mid 30s somewhere.
well, a lot of U.S. Opens. And then there's another one that has a picture of the clubhouse and the squirrel and the trophy. Now there's one that looks like in red. It looks like it might be a sweatshirt, not a T-shirt, but it's hard to tell.
It's got an
It's
American flag.
Yeah, with a squirrel instead of the stars up in the.
Yeah, that's a simple
Yeah.
patriotic thing. That's okay. I don't mind that one. I'd probably think about that one if I was independently wealthy and money meant nothing to me.
And there's another one that's, I don't know how it could be backwards. It's like a backwards version of the letters U.S.
It's a
Open up.
black hoodie, and on the back of it, the letters are reversed like it's in your rearview mirror. I'm not sure. I don't think
Why?
I don't know why. So if you're looking in your rearview mirror and they're going the other way, you can read what it says.
Yes,
I
but how many
don't
times
know.
does that happen? Is that when you're backing into somebody?
Well, it's like ambulance. They spell it backwards on the front of the
Right.
ambulance. You see it in your rearview mirror, but this is on the back of the hoodie. So
I can't figure this one out.
in 3 words, no.
I like more words and I can't figure this one out. That's what I like. Okay. We've got a baby thing. It's kind of cute.
Oh yeah, the baby jumper. It says crawl, walk, golf.
Yes. Which I
That's
figured
not
you would
a,
like.
if that's not a best-selling book title, I don't know what is.
There are 2 actual golf shirts. One of them was green and one of them
Yeah,
was
they have a lot of Peter Millar shirts, and there's a lot of G4 polos.
okay.
They're all cluttered up. I'm not a fan of all the clutter that's in vogue right now. As you can see, I'm wearing a plain white polo with no little miniature shark heads on it or anything. So
Okay.
it's a little too. They're busy. I'm not a fan of the busy ones.
You know, like busy prints like this?
Well, yeah, that's different. It's not just like a little martini glasses or something.
No, it's not.
They were little Lucky Charm leprechauns. I could live with that, but no, I those did for $115.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a
I don't.
statement.
I'm not. I just don't like the busy patterns. I think
Okay.
they'll be. I think in a couple of years they'll be out of fashion, and people will look back and go, "God, those were ugly. What were we thinking?" Be like your high school pictures from high school.
Okay. And last but certainly
You're
not
for daguerreotypes, but hey,
last but certainly not least, the stuffed squirrels. They're so cute. The only way these things could be better, I mean, I assume they're fluffy toys because that's what they look. They look like soft plush squirrels. The only way they could be better is if they were like the Augusta gnomes and they were ceramic, and you could put them on your shelf. Of course, I guess you could
well, you
put
can
these.
put them in your garden. That's what they're for. I thought they just took the Caddyshack gopher and called it a squirrel here. It looks
Yeah.
a lot more like a gopher than a squirrel, so I don't know. They were like $33 or $38.
Well, for
You got a
dog-
kid with you at the U.S. Open. You're trying to shut them up while you watch golf. I guess it's a good idea. No, they're all right. They're cute. I'm sure they'll sell them out probably.
I think they're adorable. How's that?
Well, you can go online and order as many as you'd like.
Okay, I might.
Probably.
Now, what's this giant poster?
Oh, that is the club logo of every course that's held the U.S. Open. And
Well, that's
next to the logo of each one, if it held it more than once, I mean, it tells you the year and whatever.
Whoa. Okay.
So, like Oakmont's got nine mentions there, and yeah, it's a neat historic piece, sort of. It maybe isn't the greatest piece of artwork. You're not going to hang it in your dining room for art because the logos are small, but it's kind of a neat.
You might put it in your office.
U.S. Open in one page, and it can be yours for only $95.
Okay. Does it come framed for $95, or is it a plaque that's huh?
No.
It's rolled up?
And if they put it in a thing
A
for
tube.
$95, the tube, yeah. No, it comes in
Okay.
I think it comes in a tube, but the big news is here at the U.S. Open, the artist who did put it together is there, and he'll sign them.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Because he was able to draw a tiny little squirrel somewhere. So great. No, I think that was different. I really like that one. 95's a lot, but that's a different souvenir for people. I like that one.
I haven't seen that done before. I don't think. I'm trying to remember if I've
Now
seen
they
that.
should do it at the Masters. No, wait.
No, no. I don't think so. Well, Gary, thank you very much for bringing us your
Did we get through all the merchandise already?
your hits from the merchandise tent.
Okay.
So we'll
And for watching this, because there's merchandise involved, we're going to have to charge each viewer sales tax. 4% sales tax payable to me, Gary Van Sickle.
is that all?
And half of it goes to Al Franken. Send me your money, thank you. Merchandise, you open.